Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Discovering Dentistry with Mandy PS. I will change my topic very soon to something more all of you will like. What we're doing today is the Explorer, which some of you might know. It's not like Dora the Explorer, it's actually an instrument used in dentistry. And since I'm not such an expert in dentistry, I'm going to get some help from some of our viewers. And guys, I want to know what's going on, so you guys comment below or email me and let me know what you guys want as our next topic, because I'm still thinking about it. Where was I? So we should get started, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Explorers are used to detect the texture and character of a tooth surface by tactile means. So we can examine the tooth for any abnormal features such as grooves, curvatures, root furcations, or the presence of calculus deposits, whether they are supragingival, meaning above the gingival margin, or subgingival, meaning below the gingival margin. Explorers are made of flexible metal that conduct vibrations from the working end to the clinician's fingers. And to understand how this can be done, we have to know the different parts of an explorer. So the first part is the working end, which is also known as the explorer tip, and it is 1 to 2 millimeters in length, and it's circular in cross-section. The actual point is not used for the exploring, rather the side of the tip is applied to the tooth surface. The next part is the shank, which is a rod-shaped length of metal, which is located between the working end and the handle, known as the shank. The shank can be divided into two parts. We have the lower shank, or the terminal shank, which is the part from the working end up to the first bend. And then we have the functional shank, which is the metal part from the working end up till the last bend in the middle. The terminal shank, or the lower shank, is important when we're trying to assess the correct working end in the posterior teeth. Explorers have a complex shank, meaning that the shank is bent from side to side in different areas. Now, the correct way of holding the explorer is known as a modified pen grasp, and this is done by placing the thumb and index finger in a round shape, like so, it's the shape of a C, as you can see. The middle finger rests gently on the shank, and the ring finger is the fulcrum finger, which is resting on the tooth, and it's straight. It's straight, and it's a little ahead of the other fingers in the grasp. The little finger just simply rests beside the ring finger. The ideal positioning of the wrist while working is the neutral wrist position, which means the wrist is aligned with the long axis of the arm, and the palm is open and relaxed.
Along with the 1112 Explorer, there are four main other Explorers, being the Shepherd Hook Explorer, the Straight Explorer, the Pigtail Explorer, and the Orban type Explorer. The Shepherd Hook Explorer is used supragingivally for examination of the margins of restorations or to assess for sealant retention. Along with the Straight Explorer, that's also used supragingivally for the examination of margins of restorations or to assess for sealant retention, but it's not recommended for subgingival use because the point could injure the soft tissue at the base of the sulcus or pocket. Along with that, there is the Pigtail or Cajon Explorer, which gets its name from its end being pointed like a pigtail. It's used for calculus detection in normal sulci or shallow pockets, extending no deeper than the cervical third of the root. The curved lower shank causes a considerable stretching of the tissue away from the root surface. Last, there is the Urban type Explorer. The tip is bent at a 90-degree angle to the lower shank, This feature allows the back of the tip instead of the point to be directed against the soft tissue at the base of the sulcus or pocket. The straight lower shank allows insertion into the narrow pockets, which only slightly stretching of the tissue away from the root surface. All of the explorers are used to detect calculus.
Hi, today we're gonna demonstrate how to use Explore X11 and 12. First of all, before we actually do anything, we have to make sure you choose the correct working end. Now, how do you choose it? You hold the Explore 11, 12. You put it, when we work on the anterior teeth, we place the working end on the surface of the teeth to see if it's correct working end. The correct working end is the tip of your Explorer hugging the tooth. So let's see this one. Looks like hugging, but to make sure to the other end. And you can see here, and the working end is kind of stick out. Also the band is bulge out. So flip over, recheck it. Now, when you fulcrum on teeth, and you see the working end is hugging. So now we can start it. You started the Explore 11, 12 for anterior teeth. At the midline, you only use 1/3 of your working end, so it's just a tiny bit. So you adapt, you close, you insert under subgingiva, under the gingiva, then you go flowing light stroke. So I do it again. Insert toward low light flowing toward to interproximal contact. We can move to posterior area to working on the posterior teeth using Explore 11, 12. Before we do anything, we have to choose the correct working end. The thing is, how do you choose it? It's you place Explore 11, 12 into the proximally, and you fulcrum first to see your Explore low shank if it's parallel to the long axis of the tooth. Let's see. This one doesn't because it's off. This one, you can see it's parallel to the long axis of the tooth. Okay, next order to the interproximal contact area. Again, same thing. You use long, flowing, overlapping stroke toward to interproximal. Let me show you again. Adapt, close, insert from a distal line angle, overlapping, long stroke, parallel to your tooth on axis. Now after that, you from a distal line angle again, then you working toward. Now we're gonna work Explore toward to mesial line angle. So first of all, you fulcrum and you adapt, you close, you insert from distal line angle, then you work toward to mesial line angle. Use the same overlap stroke all the way, go to the interproximally. So this way you don't miss any area.
When exploring, you need to determine the correct working end of the instrument. We've already learned the terminal shank in class, and what we want to do is take the terminal shank and line it up parallel to the distal of the premolar, so that the terminal shank is parallel to the long axis of the tooth. When we have it like that, we are high up on our fulcrum, which is very important. You'll note that the handle is coming out of the mouth nicely. If we were to try the other end of the instrument and find the terminal shank and try to put it at the distal, you can see not only sinus, so you know that's not the correct working end. So once we know that we have the correct working end of the instrument by the terminal shank, we want to go. I'm going to start at our get ready zone. We're always going to adapt 1 to 2 millimeters of the tip to the tooth. Place it at the get ready zone, the distal line angle, and float the explorer subgingivally, rocking and using a feather-light stroke to feel subgingivally the surface of the root. Once you get interproximally just halfway between the buccal and the lingual, you want to drop your heel down a little bit, turn your toe inwards, and feel right under that contact. You come back out, roll the instrument in your fingers back to the distal line angle, making sure that you have 2 millimeters adapted. High up on your fulcrum, start your way down the buccal wall, light, short, overlapping strokes, rolling the instrument in your hands as you move into the mesial. If you notice, when you get to the mesial, the terminal shank is again parallel to the long axis of the tooth. Once you get to the interproximal, you want to tip your toe upwards, turn in a little, and feel right under that contact, and then slide back out. For the premolars, I am demonstrating 4, 5. You would again start distally, so you have to face your toe distally. Start at what would be the get ready zone, high up on your fulcrum, and float 1 to 2 millimeter tip subgingivally, rolling as you go around the distal to get to the contact. You are going to tip the heel back, turn and feel underneath the contact, and slide back out. Roll the instrument between your fingers back to the distal line angle, float in, make light, small, overlapping strokes till you get into the interproximal. Turn in a little bit and feel under the contact, and then slide back out.